Hello, this is my final project, Blackjack, and as you can see I use an ASCII formatting for my output, and I start out with 2 cards and the dealer gets 2 cards, but one of them is currently hidden. So I got a queen and a 5, and as far as I can tell, the dealer has an ace and something else I don't know. I am not going to draw, and you can see that I lost since the dealer in fact had a blackjack this time. And I only had a queen and a 5, so I clearly lost that one. Over here we can see that I have the class card for the card constructor for card objects, which holds the name and the value. Then here's the getter methods, and here's the toString that prints out those cards. So we go down here to class main. Here's a couple of the variables I didn't want in the main method, just so that they're more easily accessible. So we got scan, deck, values, which is just the value of each hand in an array of sorts, map. And over here we got the table, which is pretty much everything in one, so that I can print this out over here fairly simply. Here we got deal cards. And in deal cards, we pick out a random number, find it in the deck, add it to the hand, and remove it from the deck. Then we return the hand back. In the hand value, we're just calculating the value of that hand, which goes back into that value that was mentioned earlier above. If it has an ace, then we have a boolean here to check for that, and down here, if the value ended up being over 21, then we take 10 away from 21, and it will fit now. It won't cause you to bust, because aces can be 1 or 11. Down here we got display table, which is how I display all of this. We have this little bit of code to refresh the screen every time, although as you can see here I commented it's a little buggy on Repl.it, since if you scroll up a little bit is left over at the top every time it refreshes. Got the title, got the setup for printing each hand and then the cards in each hand. If it's the dealer's second card and we want it to be hidden, as mentioned by this hidden boolean that's given to us when we ask for the method, then we'll print out a blank card here. That's how we did that at the beginning of the game. Otherwise, we use the toString method to print normally. This is just a if statement that was a little bit too long, so I put in a method so that it looked a bit fancier and more neat. Here's the draw cards, and here's how we go about drawing our cards. Do have a little bit of an if statement in case you're asking to draw for your split hand instead of your normal hand. And we have a little bit of a while loop to make sure you're inputting something valid. And there's that valid input method. As we go down, you can see that I also have something for the dealer specifically. Since the dealer isn't going to be asked for input, it's a computer, we just have something where it's like, hey, it's the dealer. Let's display that. Now let's go find the value and put it in. And they were like, hey, if it's over 21, then you win. The dealer busted himself. Otherwise, let's see. You got busted. It's a little bit complicated, but general idea is you draw cards and it sometimes checks stuff, or if you win, lost, got busted, so on in this little bit, although that's more so handled later on. As we go down here, check Blackjack. That's at the beginning of the game before you even get to draw any cards, and it's like, hey, you tied, you both got a Blackjack, or hey, you won because you got a Blackjack at the very beginning. Like if I got a queen and an ace instead of a queen and 5, that would have been an immediate win. When never even got to get any input, which would be boring, but cool. Here we got the main method, so here's some strings I use for keys just for my sanity. Here's the 2 arrays that I use to set up the deck. Here's the deck being, here's the cards getting added into that deck. Some other stuff for putting the values in, setting things up, display table again, We're basically just making things, making the dealer, making the player's hand. Then we're calculating the values for the player's hand and the dealer's hand. Going down, we got split. It's like, oh hey, we noticed that your first value of the card and the second value of the card in your hands are the same. Did you want to split? Yes, no? This is stuff for that. Basically just a whole lot of shuffling cards around to get them in the right spot, because when you split your hand, one card from your original hand goes to the new hand, one card stays there, and then they each get new cards. The table gets redisplayed. Check for a blackjack. Check blackjack again, since this is for the split. Here's for the normal. Display table after that. As we go down, here's the bit where we're like, here's the final decision of whether you win, lost, or tied if you didn't already. So you lost if the dealer got a 21, because that's a blackjack. And if the player's split value was existing, like they had a split, then we go into this area here. And if that's greater than the dealer, then you win, obviously, if you didn't bust. If it's equal to the dealer, then we have a possible tie. We'll have to check later with the other hand you have. Here we got, hey, your main hand's greater than the dealer, you win, your hand's higher. Otherwise equal, possible tie again. You may not have mentioned it. You may not have had you may not have had a split hand, so this is another chance to get that possible tie set to true. If it wasn't a possible tie and none of this other stuff happened already, then you lost. The dealer's hand is higher than yours. Otherwise, we got an else statement because that possible tie was true. And then you got tie. You and the dealer have equally valued hands. So again, here's that game. We want to play it one more time just in case we get something different out of it. Dealer got an ace and something. I got a jack and a 2. I'm going to go ahead and say draw. I got a 3. Probably not that great. Probably going to lose, but I don't want to draw again. I'll say no. I lost. The dealer's hand is higher than mine. They obviously drew because they need to get at least 17 for their hand, so they drew one more. They got an ace, a 5, and a 3. I only had a jack, a 2, and a 3. So I lost. Anyway, that's my final project. Thank you for watching.